North Melbourne at the MCG, and play gets underway. Ashenko is favoured by the bounce and thumps it down towards centre half forward. McGrath missed it. This is Allison inside the 50, settles, goes goalward. It's a wayward kick out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket.
Well, as we saw there, a left footer. Not too good on the other side, Brett Allison.
O'Reilly out of defence. Wide to the outer side. Big pack knocked on by Barnes. Poole waits behind and gathers. Gets away from Stevens. Meantime, there's going to be a free kick. It's going to Stevens. Illegal use of the arm by Poole. Stevens wasting no time. Kicks inside the 50. O'Reilly goes back. Almost the mark to the defender. Bairstow in front. Buried. They're going in pretty solidly. Longmire the hand pass for space. This is Scholl. Just inside the 50. Pulls it back across his body. Up goes Barnes with courage. Got a fist on it. This is Colbert. Nicely done.
Yes, poised for a youngster. Off to the skipper, Bairstow. Geelong up the middle. Gary Hocking just beats the tackle. Delivers a 35-metre hand pass to Riccardi. He passes to Ablett. No mark. Back out towards the 50. Hickmott. Hand pass is good. Stoneham welcome back after 3 weeks suspension, but not a great kick. The mark taken by Archer. It opened at a cracking pace the game. Kick by Archer, also not too hot. Riccardi gets it forward to Scott. Back out to Peter Riccardi. 40 metres out. Beats a man. Up to the goal square. Ablett wrestling.
Oh, what is going on, umpire? They literally had one another in a bear hug, Martin and Ablett.
It's the first score of the game.
Ablett pretty stiff not to get a kick there. I thought Martin was the instigator. Still, Smith has got the footy. High kick towards the outer side. Buckley in from the side. Scholl almost the mark. It falls forward to Hocking. Bairstow. Well taken by Scholl. In trouble. Springs to his feet. Clarkson feeds Martin. The short one is on. This is Stevens. Now Stevens away. Back it comes to Roberts inside his own defensive 50 towards the outer side. McAdam goes up. Fell over. Ball free in front. Barnes was taken high and he'll get the free kick. John Barnes on the wing.
Bright sunny conditions at the MCG after the rain of last night for the Collingwood-Essendon game. No curtain raiser played today, so the ground in magnificent condition. And a mighty kick of 65 metres, but the mark taken by Roberts. Support from Smith. Back to centre wing. McAdam playing up the ground. Here he is. Oh, clever little kick to Stevens. Kick by Stevens. Longmire one out. Top mark.
It was a good mark because O'Reilly is also very strong in the body. Did well last week, O'Reilly, against Rocker for Collingwood. Well delivered by Stevens. I don't think that was intentional by McAdam. Good build-up, North Melbourne.
Well, they got the ball down there so quickly. The speed of light. Longmire, 45 metres out. He's hooked that kick. It's a behind-only scores level. 1 point each.
Here's O'Reilly. Against a sea of blue and white, he goes in short and finds Hinkley.
Actually, the whole game's a sea of blue and white.
Exactly. Hinkley towards midfield. Poole in best position. Up he goes, takes the mark, plays on immediately, feeds Scott. Scott will need to kick it. He does. Short of Ablett on the lead. Buckley against the flow. Hickmott did well. Couch couldn't control it. Stevens, who's been busy, boots it through midfield towards half forward. In from the side. Terrific mark is taken by Crocker.
Did well last week too at centre half forward. Crocker.
Darren Crocker, fated with the number 27, dogged by injury. From long range to the kickoff line. In from the side. Barnes did well. Great discipline. To the advantage of Couch, who knocks it on intelligently. Hocking's got it. Great poise from Hocking. The short pass. Hinkley deep in his own defensive area. Back to Hocking. The Cats are looking pretty good. Hocking towards half forward. Stoneham. But in from the side. Hickmott takes the mark.
He's got some ability, Hickmott.
Hickmott forward of the wing. Boots it out wide. Steele has to wait. And wait, he didn't. Mark, he did. He thought about going.
And he'd be anxious to do well today, playing against his old side. Played in the forward pocket last week too. Darren Steele.
Still waiting for a goal in this match. Reminiscent of last night, Essendon and Collingwood went for about 7 minutes before the opening goal. Steele's kick off the side of the boot. Martin's fist away by about 20 metres, taken by Blakey, who slung, having kicked the ball, relayed free.
Comes up the ground to Schwass, acting skipper. He tossed the coin today over the centre of the ground. Punch forward is good. McGrath also against his old side. Here's Poole in trouble. Bairstow near the centre circle. Just gets the boot to it. Up towards 50. Roberts charges at it. Poole taps away. And further afield towards the 50. Schwass. Archer. And the ball out of play. Played at both ends. Glenn Archer. He's had a fine season. For the throw-in, Stoneham and Roberts. Interference, a shepherding free kick to Barry Stoneham.
He's a player that's been missed by Geelong, and it's good to see him playing at centre half forward.
Gee, there's a free kick to Ablett right in front. There was more going on down there than at Festival Hall. I'm not saying clenched fists and punches, but lots of grappling. It was a night at the wrestling, really, and Ablett should get his first goal and his 99th from a free kick.
Well, they're both body players. Gary Ablett beaten last week, although he kicked goals against Perth because Perth was prepared to run off him. Ablett looked good when he was on the move.
This for the first goal of the game. It's taken nearly 7 minutes. Ablett, 99 for the season. Well, I was watching off the ball, and Michael Martin is definitely eyeballing Gary Ablett, and to some extent not bothered about the football. And that was going on then, and that's what led up to the free kick.
So that promises to be a very interesting duel as this unfolds. Martin won't like that last goal, but Ablett, not a man to be fazed. 99 goals on the season. 18.5 minutes remaining in this opening term, and Geelong out by 6 points. Rucks go at it. Yashenko at the third attempt slaps it forward. Hinkley down towards half forward. Archer's in front. Good use of the body there by Brown, who leads back in the race, but the boundary line is too near. So a throw in the shadows of the members' stand.
And Dennis, if Michael Martin was worried about the free kick, you only have to read the paper tomorrow. There must be 20 photographers all aiming at Ablett.
Throw it in. Roberts, Clarkson, away to Stevens. He's had a marvellous year. He boots it down towards half forward. McGrath is held and will get the free kick. Man reaching back, had him by the Guernsey.
Really done well since he's joined Geelong from North Melbourne. Tim McGrath, a real stalwart in that back line for Geelong.
McGrath towards the wing. Stoneham comes in from the side, claims the mark. Good mark, that one. Barry Stoneham, as Drew said, back after suspension, plays on, centering kick. Over the top, the big leap.
Yes.
Steele juggled it to ground and held it directly in front, 45 metres out. Good effort.
Determined effort by Steele.
Plenty of opportunities on the forward line for the lesser lights because of the spotlight on Gary Ablett by the defence. And players like Steele, if they're prepared to move around, can pick up some goals. Steele kicking at Geelong's second. Not a bad effort. It's close. It's a behind.
Geelong 1-2. North Melbourne 1 behind. At this venue last year, in the corresponding game, Geelong kicked 29 goals against North and won by 77 points. Half forward marking contest. Man in front, and it's going to Trevor Poole, who celebrates his 150th today. Centering pass in the direction of Stoneham, whipped away by Roberts. To the cricket pitch area. Crocker, the hand pass dropped a bit short, knocked down by Scott. Through comes Gary Hocking, barges through.
Oh, there's a free kick to Steele. It's against Hocking. He does give away a lot of free kicks, Gary Hocking.
Bad play.
To Stevens. From half-back flank. Over centre wing. Longmire in front. No mark. Sun in his eyes there. Buse to centre half forward. Stoneham a focal point still. And Stoneham takes the mark. I think he's too far out to score. Ablett's on the edge of the goal square. He needs one more for the century. Stoneham honours the lead to the pocket.
Oh,
Ablett
no,
at the back.
Ablett.
He's got it.
No.
It's a mark.
From where I was sitting, Ablett had hold of Martin.
It'd be a game umpire to free kick him, because everybody is focused on Gary Ablett trying to kick 100 for the first time in his career. His previous best was 87 goals in a season in his stellar year 1989. This for the second fastest century in VFL AFL history. And there it is. Only Bob Pratt got there quicker, and that was one game quicker. Gary Ablett gets his century in his 14th game for the season. And despite the protestations of officials, he has been besieged by people here at his favourite stage, the MCG.
Well, they had a ring of officials last week at Waverley in anticipation, but they haven't got those officials here today. And as you can see there is not too many officials out there. There's one policeman, a couple of trainers, but there's a big crowd going out.
So remarkable scenes surrounding a remarkable individual. Gary Ablett, just a terrific year. 100 goals to that man, and the invasion now is starting to recede.
That is fantastic, you know. 114 games. Bob Pratt did it in 1934 in 13. Ablett's done it quicker than Peter McKenna, Tony Lockett and Jason Dunstall, who all took 15 games in their quickest to a century.
And importantly too, Geelong have skipped away to lead by 13 points. Ablett has both their goals, and North Melbourne, such an important game for them. They've missed some stars in recent weeks. Carey, Rock, Ramiro. And who knows, they could be on a slide to a very awkward place in the finals. They've got to keep winning and finish in the top two. So the buzz around the MCG is still there as umpire Rowan Soares.
A little bit of byplay going on between Clarkson and Couch. And Clarkson the instigator.
Umpire Michael Abbott going across and talking to that pair. Quite some distance from the centre circle. So the Rucks go at it. Ashenko gets it down. Bairstow upended by Ashenko. A relayed free kick. Well, that was a little bit soft. Stoneham's got it. Stoneham out wide. Brown slipping in behind the defence. Oh, great work by Archer, going back with the flight of the ball. Punched it out of bounds.
Stoneham's doing for Geelong what North would hope Carey could do for them. He's taken 2 marks and had 4 kicks at centre half forward. Carey, of course, absent. Poole hit it pretty hard. Out of there by Buckley. Grabbed by Couch, the short pass. Did he aim for the umpire? Nearly got him. Scott beats one, can't beat the second. Out to Gary Hocking, 40 metres from goal. Now 50 out. He has to concede ground and possession. Crocker hit very hard. Down he goes. Gee, it's tough in there. Punch forward inside the 50. Ducking a high tackle, and eventually the whistle comes. Blakey, the free kick.
To Laidley. Laidley swings it out wide. Allison, up he goes. Juggled attempt, couldn't hang on. Colbert did well. Got it back to Buse. Untidy hand pass, though. Trying to crash his way through out there was Couch, and he's been penalised for holding the ball.
It's good play by Colbert.
Stevens, who's been busy. Probing kick towards half forward. Luckily, it finishes up with Longmire, who props, kicks for space. Mann leads in the race. O'Reilly is closing. Mann gets the hand pass off to Larkin. Nobody home for North. Getting back is McGrath. Plays on immediately. Feeds Buse. Buse goes out wide. Bairstow did well. He really had to stretch close to the boundary line. Little chip pass. Steele needs to go and does. In front of Stevens, who was closing.
Reminiscent of last week's game, Geelong came out all fired up against Collingwood, but nearly got overrun. They've got the ascendancy in the early part of this game too, but can North peg them back?
Steele around the outer side towards half forward. It falls forward. Hickmott pushed off the ball. Couch couldn't control it. Poole is in there. Socket away by Clarkson. Stoneham. Hickmott confronted. Back to Stoneham. Sweeping hand pass to Bairstow. Bearing down is Roberts. Bairstow's in trouble. He slaps it on. Colbert. The hand pass is pretty good. Knocked out of there by Scott. Intended for Riccardi, who's taken without the ball.
He's got some ability, Colbert. There's 50 metres, surely.
Has to be.
So Peter Riccardi should be on the goal line to just tap this through for a goal.
And will the runner go out from North Melbourne?
Have to.
Schwass acting skipper, so it's not the sort of thing you would expect the skipper to do.
And I think Peter German's taking off the top, so there might be a replacement.
Goal to Riccardi. Cats 3-0.
Yes, Peter German top off, so he's about to take his place on the ground, and guess what? Wayne Schwass coming off. Disciplinary because of that 50-metre penalty. And there's the change.
Well, he'd be waiting for the tap on the shoulder, wouldn't he? Well, Geelong 3-2, North Melbourne 1 behind. 2 of the Cats' 3 goals from frees. "13 minutes remaining to quarter time. Bounced in favour of Schenko, who didn't get anywhere near it. Back to the centre, Laidley to centre half forward. Longmire beaten to it by McGrath, who got boot to ball. It bounces up all right for Scott. Back to McGrath. Off the left boot he goes to half forward. Long kick. And it bounces out of bounds, about 60 metres out from goal.
Now German coming off. Schwass spoken on the phone, is about to come back on. The captain for the day.
Peter German would love that. Stoneham knocks it down. Picked up by Roberts. Out of there by Smith. Buckley, awkward half volley. It runs free. Bairstow. Hinkley. Geelong dominating midfield at the present time. Hinkley goes out wide to Steele, who's been lively on the forward line. The short pass is on, and Brown has it.
Got some ability too, Brown.
He booted 38 goals last year and complimented this man on the forward line. He's back there this afternoon. Repeating Ablett's got his 100 as Brown lines up from right on the 50. Not a bad looking effort, just slides across the face and off hands and through for a minor score.
North Melbourne currently second on the ladder. They were runaway leaders for a while, but they've lost 3 out of their last 5 games. So things not just going right for North, who were a star at the start of the year. Steele, a terrific hand pass. Comes through Brown onto Couch. A left footer is another one.
Everything going Geelong's way at the moment. Couch forward of the action. Played well in the first quarter last week, Couch, but then was really taken out of it by McGuan. Picked up by Clarkson. A little bit of byplay before the ball was bounced earlier between Clarkson and Couch. Instigated by Clarkson. Schwass now in the centre, bounce down.
So the challenge squarely with North Melbourne. They trail by 26 points. Barnes, who's been doing well, goes up opposed to Schenko, who gets it down this time. Schwass doing what he does best, digging it out of the middle. Kicks it out very wide, though. It runs towards the boundary line and proceeds out, so it will be thrown in.
He does it well, actually, Dennis, too. You're right.
A lot of people, Don, have disregarded Melbourne and Geelong's claims at making the top 6. I don't think they're gone yet. Thrown in. If 12 will get you in, both are capable. Melbourne in particular. It would seem just one toughie in the run home, and that's Adelaide at Football Park. 4-3 to a point.
So the Cats have to win every game, don't they?
Or both of them do, yeah, to finish with 12. And while these top sides like North continue to lose, then suddenly things open up for the teams down below as Steve Hocking gets it away to Hinkley. Sweeping hand pass. Hughes has to wait. Caught pretty well on his feet. Thumped it forward. Poole couldn't control it. Crashing in was Scott. Clarkson. Well played by Scott. It ricochets to Buckley, who boots it towards half forward. Barnes the mark.
And Geelong haven't fooled around on the flanks too much. They've run straight up the middle, and here they go again. O'Reilly up from full back. This time he goes out towards the wing to Poole. Kick by Poole. Ablett and Martin. Ablett looking around, looking for a free, but nothing doing this time. Michael Martin's had him before. He's done all right. I don't suppose anybody who's ever marked Gary Ablett over a number of games can say, well, he's ever been on top. Here's Roberts, cornered. Up towards the centre. McAdam hasn't been in it. Hinkley. Kick is chopped off. Back from Scholl. High ball. Martin. Mann it was. Pushed out. It was going to be a Geelong free kick. Advantage now to Steve Hocking. Brown. Can't take the mark. Scott underfoot. Tries to burrow his way through. And that was like games we used to have at playtime in primary school, a bit like tunnel ball, that one. And the umpire comes in and will ball it up at centre half forward.
4-3 to a behind. Under 10 minutes till quarter time. One down by Roberts. Crashing his way through as Blakey. Taken high as he hand passes it towards midfield, so it'll come back to John Blakey. And North generating very little in midfield. That was the problem against the Saints as well. Missing Rock and Romero. A lot has been made of Carey. Oh, terrific effort. Colbert.
It's a free kick North's way. It's going to Crocker.
Crocker getting the free kick, but Colbert did very well regardless. He was oblivious to all of that. The kick wasn't against him. He juggled it superbly. Couch runs across the mark. He was within 5 metres, so that's allowed. Vashenko grabs Steve Hocking when he didn't have it. McGrath against the flow, does brilliantly. Well played. Tim McGrath swings it out wide, close to the boundary line. Riccardi and Stevens. It's out of bounds and will be thrown in.
Well, loud applause for Tim McGrath. He's playing his 50th today. He played 7 games for North Melbourne. He won the club's under-19 best and fairest and the Morris medal in the competition when Dennis Pagan was his coach. Stevens from centre wing up towards centre half forward. Here's young Colbert, playing just his 4th game of AFL football. And a 50-metre penalty. The second in the game for the Cats. The first one resulted in a goal.
He looks a player, doesn't he?
My word. Did well last week, Dennis, in the first quarter, playing around midfield, then went back onto Starcevic, but really has got some ability.
He might have taken 51 metres instead of 50. He kicked into the man on the mark.
McAdam coming off too.
Couch spins out of trouble. 51 metres out. A mighty kick. Look at the distance there, but a behind. But it's all Geelong.
Pyman on for North Melbourne. McAdam going off for disciplinary reasons.
So Pyman gets a chance to show his wares. 27 points the difference. Here's Smith.
Reminds me of a nursery rhyme.
On the outer side, Scholl to Blakey, to Larkin. Towards centre half forward. Schwass will need to go. Missed it. Hinkley missed it too. Back comes Steve Hocking. Harassed very well down there. Working the ball in front though is Hinkley. Crocker, who did the harassing initially, comes on strong and makes a tackle. Great work by Darren Crocker. Longmire's kick goes straight up in the air. Well, virtually. Steve Hocking missed it. Buse waits behind. Support from Gary Hocking. Little chip pass towards midfield. McGrath slipped. As a result, now the job's in front of him. So's the ball, though. It bounced obligingly for him. He kicks inside the 50. Should have done better. And Archer takes the mark.
So it was a good shepherd by Couch to allow McGrath to come through.
Smith. Riccardi at centre wing. Pyman stands the mark. Riccardi round onto his left.
Oh.
Well, I don't know who he was aiming at there. Stoneham, but it dropped about 15 metres short of him. Laidley takes the mark. Finishes up with Stevens. Shocking kick by him. Bounces over Crocker.
Oh.
Hinkley didn't go at it too hard. Schwass goes back to Pyman. Mann. And the man at the back takes the mark, O'Reilly. Might have found his niche at full back. Barnes. Kick by John Barnes to centre wing. Hickmott. Good spoil by Blakey. Comes back to Blakey. Now he's gone. Took one the eye by the looks of it.
McAdam back on, having spoken to the coach, obviously. Pyman off for North Melbourne.
Larkin's kick inside the 50. O'Reilly did well to hammer the ball away. Bairstow to Hocking. Intercepted by Scholl, who's having a marvellous season. He's 60 metres from goal. He runs closer from 52 metres out. North need a goal. Not with that kick. They're behind. So North Melbourne under pressure. They trail by 26 points. Under 6 minutes till quarter time. O'Reilly short to Hinkley in the back pocket. And the Cats will bring it out.
To centre half back, Hocking. Buckley closes the gap on him. Colbert ridden into the ground by McAdam just back. Umpire will ball it up on the edge of the centre square. He's had one kick, Adrian McAdam. And look at the marking, 24-8, 5 minutes to quarter time. Yashenko, here's McAdam. Riccardi, well, takes it away from him, kicks towards the boundary line. Great bit of play by Peter Riccardi, who looked no hope from his position.
Might be a worrying time for North Melbourne. Signs are not good.
Yashenko, well bandaged. Barnes wins. Hocking gets it going Geelong's way. Bairstow waits for it to sit. Stevens a good chase. Down goes Bairstow. Clarkson's hand pass is blocked. Laidley didn't go for the ball. He just got Scott out of the way. There's Clarkson. Scott rips it off him. There's Laidley and Scott near the fence.
Plays with some purpose now, Robert Scott. Another change is made. Mann's come off for North Melbourne and Pyman on. Mann was playing up in the forward pocket, being picked up by McGrath.
Ball up just inside the boundary line. Palmed down by Yashenko. Stevens was a top player. In fact, has been. He's had 10 possessions. We've got 4.5 minutes to quarter time. Riccardi goes in short. McGrath to Hocking, who's covering some hectares. Kick by Hocking. Stoneham in front. Oh, North players run into each other. Hickmott, clash of heads. They're both gone down.
Yes, not good, not good. Let's hope he's all right.
Schwass and Hickmott.
Doesn't look too flash, does he, Wayne Schwash? He'll have to hold play up.
Oh, the crowd just saw the replay on the scoreboard, the big ooh around the ground. Now, North don't need this.
It's just remarkable what's happening to North Melbourne at the moment, isn't it? Hopefully he's okay. He's getting up, but he will be the worse for wear. Yes, the indication is he'll come off, so can anything further go wrong for North Melbourne?
Very, very groggy.
Yep.
Very groggy.
So this litany of injuries continues. Bounce meantime. Over the top, Stoneham. Bairstow sent into space. Geelong looking irresistible. Hocking, still he goes. Strong tackle, Buckley. Bairstow throws it on the boot. If it happens off the ball, free kick is going to Buckley, I think.
Yes.
So it'll come back to Buckley.
Germans come on for North Melbourne too.
Buckley drives it around the outer side. Blakey's in front. Goes back, didn't have the ball, Blakey. Couch in trouble. Scholl's got him, held to him, says the umpire.
Well, what Geelong has to guard against is any relaxation. They've had plenty of games well in their command at quarter and half time and even three-quarter time. They've got to play it out. Stoneham inside the 50. Big leap and a mark. Sensational mark by Brown. Well, it could be argued there's not enough room for high leaping forwards. Too many of them on the forward line getting in Ablett's way. Certainly worked out all right that time. Ablett wasn't going to get there. Brown from 45 metres. Kicks another goal.
Actually, it was a good kick by Brown. Just watching replay, the way he keeps his head over the ball and really follows through. Jumps into the ball, toward instep, straight knee. Very well done.
5-4 to 2 points. Just over 2.5 minutes till quarter time, and North Melbourne appear headed, or could be headed, for their first goalless term of the season. As Barnes goes up, knocks it down. Barnes goes again, thumps it towards half forward. Hickmott went down. He's going to get a free kick.
Well, Schwash has made a remarkable recovery. He's on the boundary line, about to come back on.
Hickmott, meantime, boots inside the 50. Steele. Well, this is getting far too easy. It's Stoneham, in fact, on his knees, who's taken the mark. They had a couple of men free out there, and now Stoneham will kick from just outside the 50 to increase the lead, if it's a goal, to 38 points. He's been very valuable on the forward line so far. Barry Stoneham misses to the near side, a behind, so it's 5-5 to 2 points.
Very valuable. 3 marks, 8 possessions at centre half forward, and it just shows you how critical that 3-match suspension was for Barry Stoneham. In that time they lost 2 games. It might make the difference between them making or not making the finals.
It's a free kick against Barnes.
Yashenko with the free. 1.5 minutes to quarter time. North easily the highest scoring team of the season. And are they heading for a goalless quarter? An interception comes here. Bairstow the hand pass. Through Barnes it goes. On the run, Colbert. Ill-directed kick. And the mark taken by Smith. Support from Archer. Bounces to Schwass. Had a bit of quick treatment. He had 2 spells on the bench in the opening 20 or 30 minutes. Free kick. Man in front pushed out. McGrath. North crowd not happy. Short pass by McGrath to Barnes. McGrath offers him something. From half back to half forward with a mighty thump. Stoneham charging at it. Clears a path for himself. Barry Stoneham might kick it himself. Round the corner he goes. It's close, but just offline.
Strong effort, sending a message, that sort of thing. The Cat season hasn't finished yet. Stoneham crashing his way through that pack. As the time remaining, 5-6 to 2 points. And Ross Smith, part of a beleaguered defence so far, chips it in short to Scholl. Inside his own defensive area to Martin, who runs into a dead end. He's claimed by Poole. Couch with an opportunity, then close to the boundary line. Spears at Goldwood, one of the goals of the season.
His second Couch. Clarkson a long way from him. Clarkson will just have to tighten up. As I said, his second goal for the quarter, Couch. But Geelong just doing it so well.
And doesn't it just highlight the fact that they drive you mad, Geelong, if you supported them? You'd be cheering one week and in despair the next. But at their best, like the little girl, they're very, very good. And they've been very good today. Not like little girls at all. Crocker's hand pass to Schwass. 55 metres out. Longmire one out. Comes from behind. The siren sounds. It is a goalless quarter for North. And Geelong have kicked 6-6-42 to 2 points. Well, what can North Melbourne do? Trailing by 40 points at quarter time. We start the second term. Away go the Cats again through Gary Hocking. It bounces through the 50. Scott runs onto it, leaves Laidley behind. Scott gets the hand pass away. Steele over his shoulder. What a goal!
What a start. But did he run too far? I think he did, Robert Scott. The umpire said no. Took a long time to get rid of it, Robert Scott. Inspiring play.
I think he was going that fast that he had to run 40 metres before his brain caught up with his legs.
So the trauma continues here for North Melbourne. They posted their first goalless quarter of the term, that first term of the season rather. Here's Yashenko punching it towards half forward. Pyman is buried. Steve Hocking the offender, and Pyman will get the free kick. And of course Ablett posting his 100th goal in that opening term. The second for Geelong, the second of 6 in the first quarter, and they've started with a goal at the beginning of this second term. Here's Robert Pyman then alongside the centre circle, kicks inside the 50. Good Mark O'Reilly, body to body, and he won the contest against Longmire. This is Barnes. Good shepherd there by McGrath, bought some time for Buse close to the boundary line. The hand pass all directed though. It comes to German, who boots it back inside the 50. Longmire in front, good grab. Or is it Crocker? It's Crocker who's taken the mark. About 35 metres out, slight angle.
Got a good leap, Crocker.
Easily their best forward this afternoon.
Made a name for himself as a half-back last year.
Longmire and McAdam unsighted so far. North going at their first goal 2 minutes into the second term. And the Crocker kick is good.
Well, let's hope that gives them a little bit of heart, North Melbourne. Dennis mentioned 2.5 minutes into the second quarter, their first goal. Free kick coming from Pyman. And centre square got the ball into the forward line.
Back in the middle. Couch trying to wrest it away from Clarkson. Schwass takes it. Standing start kick, 50 metres. McGrath lost sight of it. Comes back to him though. Blind hand pass, sits up all right for Barnes. He pops it for Poole. Spun round a couple of times. I thought that might have been worth a kick to Pyman. Comes to Bairstow. Bounces over Scott's head. He's got too much pace for Laidley. Shows him a clean pair of heels for the second time in 2 minutes. Centering kick. Hickmott. It's punched on towards the goal square. Chopped off by Archer. Across the ground he comes. Scholl and Poole. Oh, we want to get it out, Scholl. Now Poole's over it. Support from Steele. And eventually the ball goes over the line. 48-8. Geelong well in command.
Boundary throw in. Man's in front. Could have almost got a free there. Comes back to the boundary and goes out of bounds. Geelong attacking. They've dominated this game. The midfield has been terrific for them. They're running players, all getting plenty of touches. Stone and Props in front. Directs it down, but Stevens in the road. Boots it high towards the wing for North. Offhand, Stephen Hocking to McGrath. Who chips it out wide. The runner jumps over the footy, and the ball goes out of bounds. So a throw in on the wing. 7-6 to 1-2. Bright sunny conditions. The air is crisp. It's a lovely day for Futyashenko. Did very nicely directing it down to Buckley. Stevens flicks it out the back. A throw is called. And Geelong's Hocking, that's Gary, will get a free kick right on the wing. Gary Hocking has been busy as well. Goes short to Poole. Stevens, who stood the mark, chases Poole, who centres the ball. Too much carry for Brown. Ablett was pushed in the back and will get a free kick. No play goes on. They get the goal in any case.
No, well,
Brown has run on and kicked the goal, but it will come back. Advantage not paid this time. And I guess fair enough, because the players almost stopped, sensing it was a free, but Brown was oblivious to that. He ran on and kicked a goal under very little pressure. So Ablett a chance to post his 101st of the season, his third of the afternoon.
The umpire a little slow giving that. I suppose waiting for the advantage.
Gary Ablett to stretch the lead to 46 points early in the second term. It looks pretty good. Ablett has his third, and Geelong have what appears to be a match-winning lead.
Very accurate, Gary Ablett, when kicking for goal. Usually 2 goals to every point. Two of his goals have come from frees. You can see there Michael Martin mouthing off.
huge deficit to overcome for North Melbourne. This will really test their character. Bairstow goes out of the middle. Ablett on the lead. We could be in for a feast here this afternoon. Well, Martin thinks it's his. I've got news for you, Mick. Ablett will be kicking it over your head in a moment.
Better play when he's on the lead, Ablett.
Hasn't he made the MCG his own? He's kicked 14s, 12s. He kicked 9 in the grand final in 1989, a performance that nobody who ever saw it will ever forget it. And if he kicks truly here, this will be 4 up to the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. So perhaps stand by for more double figures, Gary Ablett. He got the century out of the way nice and early after about 10 minutes. Now not a care in the world. Geelong well on top, Ablett well on top. It comes back enough? Not enough. 3 goals won to Gary Ablett. I can't wrap you any more than that, son.
55-8. So despite the miss, it's still a very handy lead. Here's Smith. Goes wide, intended for Scholl. Brown made it hard for him and copped an obliging bounce. He pulls it back across his body. Ross Smith is there with Ablett. Ross Smith body to body did well. This is Steele, kept his eye on the ball, well played. Ablett didn't, fumbled as a result, was taken down hard too. In goes Hocking, back comes Ablett, hits the deck. Steele goes over the top of him. Riccardi tackled by Schwass. Suddenly some tempo in this. Ablett again, they made a beeline for him. The kick comes out of defence around the outer side from Schwass, and it's fisted away, and we'll have a throw in. Barnes going hard at that ball.
Got a great leap, Barnes. Big leap. Going to centre half forward, Barnes.
Stoneham and Ashenko. Ashenko directs it down. Riccardi's there though. Hooks it back. Where's Ablett? In that pack as well. Brown in from the side, juggles the mark. It's all falling into place for the Cats.
That was a ripper.
Paul Brown, he's kicked one. Sharp angle in the right full forward pocket, but the way the Cats are playing this afternoon, big chance here. This game is almost history. 8-7 to 1-2. This for their 9th goal then. Brown's kick slides across the face. He's not happy. Out of bounds on the full in the opposite pocket. Man to take the kick.
Possessions are 121 to 74 in favour of Geelong. Marks are 34 to 11. And so the dominance is all around the ground as well as on the scoreboard. The score is 55-8. Up towards centre wing. Hughes with good poise to Hinkley. Back to the centre corridor for Gary Hocking. He steams towards goal. Ablett leads. He's got too much pace for Martin, but that's an awkward half volley. Hit the deck pretty hard actually and slid on his nose. Comes to Brown, who's going well. A hand pass is a ripper. Stoneham off the left. He's kicked it.
As Barry Stoneham went in and kicked his goal, I was watching Gary Ablett behind play, Michael Martin, and he tangled. And accidentally Martin's boot made contact with Ablett's head when he was on the ground. Stoneham, he's the player for them at centre half forward. He's been played in defence, ruck, everywhere, but he is the centre half forward in this team.
Geelong started the day with a percentage just over 100. Nice dose of percentage here so far. Away comes Stevens. He's got other ideas. North, one of their rare sorties forward. Up goes Ashenko. Did well to find the ball on the ground. Tries to snap. Not particularly effective. It goes very high in the air. O'Reilly came to meet it. Crocker snaps. And the ball pitches back. It's still not gone across the line. Well, how about that? Stephen Hocking comes away quite remarkably. Finds Poole. Runners on down the ground. Barnes is there. Buse is there. It's the latter that's got it. Buse. Boots down towards half forward. Hickmott. It bounces just inside the field of play and goes out of bounds. Well, that was remarkable. It took 2 hops, that ball, across the goal face. It seemed headed for a behind, then a goal, and then came back. And Geelong played to the whistle. This ball knocked forward, missed by Poole, and the ball trickles across the line once more. In that case, there was no whistle, but they just kept on playing and tracking the ball. They didn't concede it was going to be a score.
We have hit-outs and centre breaks in favour of North, but it's counted for nothing. Here goes Steele to the edge of the goal square. Barnes is there with a big leap. Comes off hands to Scholl. Away to Martin. They're under a heap of pressure, the North defence. Kicked by Martin. Riccardi with terrific pace. The hand pass into Barnes. Low ball to the 50. It's thumped back out. Pyman to half forward. Crocker and Hinkley. Crocker's hand pass. Stephen Hocking takes it to the boundary line for a throw-in. Allison has had one possession. McAdam has had one possession. You could pick a few. Stevens is going all right. He's had 12 for North. But by gee, they've had a few passengers. Laidley 3. Larkin 3.
Oh,
Roberts, a mighty kick. Longmire. Yes, he held it.
his marking really has improved overhead, John Longmire. He wasn't too well early in his career. He's not really flash overhead, but in the last few weeks really gained confidence.
John Longmire. Oh, great goal.
Very nonchalant. He's only 22 and played over 100 games of football. Let's hope that injury doesn't hamper him, because he'll be around the scene for a long time. Really starting to mature as a forward, a difficult position to play full forward. There he is, the North Melbourne best and fairest. A couple of years ago, Longmire. His first.
So North have booted 2 goals in this term. And their opponents, the Cats, have got 3. Barnes goes up and thumps it down towards centre half forward. Unfortunate bounce for Mann. Buckley sends it back North's way, but Couch was in the road to Poole. 40 metres out, he kicks it, slides across the face. Terrific Mark Smith coming in from the side. Timely defensive grab. Ross Smith. He's taken plenty of those this season. Kicks it towards the outer side. Riccardi fists it forward. Well done by Buckley at close quarters. Releases Schwass, who boots it around the outer side. Archer's in front. Fisted away by Stephen Hocking. This is McGrath with dash away from half back. Boots it towards half forward, but he didn't look, and Buckley drifts back to take the mark.
Gary Hocking nearly runs him down. Centre wing, Poole takes the mark. Playing his 150th. Short pass to Colbert. Playing his 4th. Gary Hocking caught behind Smith. Comes to Scholl. His hand pass to McAdam. He's at half back in search of a kick. High ball to centre wing. Almost Archer. German needs to lift. The hand pass bouncing for Stevens. Has been amongst their best. Stevens thumps it long. Eschenko nearly had the chance to take the mark. Hinkley not prepared to even concede a behind. Oh, hand pass comes back to Hinkley. It was nearly over the boundary line. McGrath threads the hand pass through to Buse. Steve Hocking. Kick by Hocking to centre wing. Poor kick, and Roberts takes the mark.
So they worked so well to bring it out. The kick had to be better than that. This is Blakey. Boots it back inside the 50. O'Reilly knocks it forward. Awkward bounce for Steele. Buckley, who's lifted in the last few moments, to Schwass on the 50. He goes long towards goal, but he is wayward, and it's a behind.
Longmire interfered with O'Reilly. Should have been given the kick. Schwass having recovered from that heavy knock early.
How about that scoreline? 61-15. North Melbourne, the league leaders until 8 days ago. In desperate trouble now. McGrath about 20 metres out from his own defensive goal. Tim McGrath. 9-7, 2-3. Goes short again. Steele under pressure. Buckley knocked it forward. Archer back to Buckley. Buckley, a very high kick. Eschenko's the target. Longmire in from the side. Got hands to it. Pyman, the quick snap. Slides across the face. Hinkley gets back. Eschenko's in pursuit. Hinkley goes to ground. Clarkson High kick. Steele has to stand and wait. Archer almost the mark over the top. McGrath goes after it with courage. And now Couch prepared to concede a behind. They haven't made too many concessions this afternoon.
Ellison warming up for North Melbourne. Adam might be the player he is going to replace.
Kick by O'Reilly. Comes to the front to Poole. His hand pass sets up Colbert. Gets rid of McAdam and then paddles it beautifully for Bairstow. Took a week to pick it up, Mark Bairstow. Back to Colbert. Couch has been an excellent player. Look at that disposal. He's kicked 2 goals, Paul Couch. Brilliant pass to Poole. On the run. Long kick. Brown charges at it.
Oh.
Well, he's taken a one-hander that Mark Waugh would have been proud of. And nearly climbed level with the southern stand that time.
That was almost a mark. I'm sure he controlled the ball and was bringing it down. It struck a body. Still, he didn't hold it long enough. Man. Buckley's been everywhere in the last 10 minutes. Boots it back towards the wing. Archer's in front.
Oh.
Steve Hocking interfered with him, surely. Archer will get the free. 45 points the margin. Archer has the ball midway between half-back and centre wing.
Germanoff.
Archer's 6th possession. Kicking it towards centre half forward. Not a good kick, but Schwass should have marked it. It bounces off his chest. He lays it off to Laidley. And Laidley goes for distance. High inside the 50. Longmire waits behind. Outnumbered, though. There were 3 cats queuing up in front, and Colbert took the mark. Plays on. McGrath up from the back pocket to Handley. Handley on the outer side. Nothing to kick to. He goes for space. And eventually the boundary line. Schwass close to the boundary line is bundled across by Stoneham, and it will be thrown in.
Just under 11.5 minutes to go to half-time. Pyman dishes off the hand pass to Schwass. Has to come back to Pyman. The kick towards the 50, but it's on the chest of Colbert, who's been an excellent player. Gary Hocking's hand pass floats up to Scott. Look at them charging down the middle. Steve Hocking back to Scott. Oops, you're in trouble. He knew he had to get rid of that in a hurry.
It's well done by Buckley.
Now here's Laidley. North on the rebound. This will test their character. They haven't been flogged all season.
Free kick surely to Longmire.
Geelong free.
O'Reilly had hold of Longmire's jumper.
And I'm watching that boy Colbert. He's taken 5 marks and had 9 possessions. Looks a player.
O'Reilly high towards midfield. Stoneham comes on the lead. Man reaches over the top and fists it forward. Stoneham on his knees tries to hand pass it out. Eventually it spills wide to be taken by Buse. It goes down towards half forward. Spearing pass. Hickmott couldn't control it. Here's Laidley. Now getting into the game. Laidley across half back. Distributes it well. It's taken by Stevens. Some indecision. Stevens goes wide. Boots inside the 50. Archie will need to stretch. Very unkind bounce. It comes to Steve Hocking. Well done by Archer. And the kick bounces just inside the field of play and goes out. 9-7-61 Geelong. 2-4-16 North. In the opening term, Geelong may have set it up. It was a memorable term, but 2 notable aspects. We saw North held goalless for the first time this season, and Gary Ablett posting his 100th goal of the season. This is Bairstow close to the boundary line. Little chip pass further afield. Hickmott back to goal. Goes to Scott. He controlled it well. Gets by Laidley. And now he's away. Blistering speed. Pulls it back. Ablett comes on the lead. Oh, Clarkson. Great courage.
My word, Clarkson.
And Martin really has no need to go after Ablett there, I don't think.
Now Ablett was on. Now he'll get that decision reversed.
Well,
now Ablett was only after the ball.
he does commit so hard, Gary Ablett. We've seen that on more than one occasion this season, and sometimes it's got him into trouble, but that time certainly he was on the lead. Clarkson showed great courage to come across his path, but I'm not sure that Ablett until the last stride was even aware of it. Here's Laidley back to midfield. Crocker's in front, taken by Buckley. He's lifted. Here's Blakey. who runs to the 50. Probing kick towards the kickoff line. Roberts over the top. It spills to the pocket. Longmire. O'Reilly goes after him. Great desperation to get him in the tackle. It affected the kick, and Handley takes the mark.
Over half-back. All North Melbourne. And the mark is taken by Blakey. In between wing and half-forward for North. Big pack of players here. Man in front. Good mark, O'Reilly, who's making it hard for Longmire after making it hard for Rocker last week, who kicked just 2 goals. Kicked by O'Reilly out to centre wing. Scott with Laidley. Riccardi beats Schwass. No mean effort. Scott had kept going. That's terrific football. They've worked the old 1-2 and back to 1. Riccardi to the pocket. Ablett.
Oh. Well.
And that's a 50-metre penalty against Martin, so this is a gimme goal for Ablett.
Well, if that's 50, that's reportable, isn't it?
Well, you're right, Dennis. You are dead right.
Has to report it.
The umpires, that has amazed me over the years, how the umpires will give a free kick for that, yet they haven't got the courage to make the report.
There's little doubt what that was all about.
Ablett right in front for goal number 4. And Gazza didn't even look back at Martin. There was no eye contact from the Geelong man. He's just getting on with the business.
And Mick's still having a few words. A great competitor, Martin. Done well this year. Not the most enviable position on the field in which to play full-back.
Well, the scores are way apart, but those two are very close, and that could erupt at any moment. 10-7 to 2-4. Two of the hardest doers in the league are unimpressed with each other as Handley goes up, gets it down. Hocking goes off the ground. Hickmott's in front, shows great desperation, knocks it Geelong's way. Mann was legged surely and will get the free kick. So Mann up from half-back. And what's been a dirty day for North so far. Gets it away to Scholl, who boots it towards half-forward. Ashenko goes back with great courage and takes the mark. Wants to play on. Pyman's got it. Pyman kicks into space in front of the leading Roberts. Archer had a half chance, couldn't control it. O'Reilly went to ground. Archer does brilliantly. Roberts, the snapshot, misses to the near side. Approaching half-time, and North Melbourne a long way off the pace in this game.
It's incredible, really, considering their worst defeat was last week by 15 points. And what you can say about North in every game this year is they're never beaten. But, gee, they look well beaten today. 50 points down. 7 minutes to go to half-time. O'Reilly. Schwass a big leap, but he can't affect the spoil. Colbert another mark. Off to Riccardi, who's slicing them up. Poole seems to have a paddock. Not for the first time. Trevor Poole in the direction of Ablett.
Free kick.
Front on charge.
Yes,
free kick.
Blakey was committed. It's about the only thing Blakey could have done. But he's a better player, Ablett, when he's on the lead. He'd prefer to use body on body. But he's so quick over the first couple of yards. Very difficult man to contain.
Now kicking for his 5th, and that'll be 3 from free kicks. Right in front, 35 metres out. 5 for number 5. Oh no, he missed it.
No, it didn't look. He wasn't happy as soon as he left the boot. Started to twist and swerve with his body, willing the ball through, but it just didn't straighten.
A few Cat fans trying to will it through as well. They fooled me.
51 points the difference then. Ball to the outer side. Handley from behind Ashenko, trying to fist it forward. Scott on his knees. In plenty of trouble. Couch has it wrenched away by Buckley, who goes after it with great courage and was pushed in the back. Won't get a kick. Well, Ben Buckley has been inspirational in this term.
He's done well, hasn't he, Buckley?
But few have gone with him. 11 possessions so far, and hard work like that doesn't register as a stat. Ashenko is held. So Ashenko to take this free kick at half-back. North being matched in commitment at the moment. Laidley put the arm up, and the free kick will go to the Geelong player who's on the ground. That's Riccardi.
We saw exactly the same thing happen last night with Kickett. Derek Kickett for Essendon, putting his hand out, warding off the Collingwood player, and the free kick given to the Collingwood player.
Peter Riccardi, where's Ablett? Comes on the lead, it goes in his direction, it falls in short, and Ross Smith gets in the road. Smith in the bright sunshine. High kick towards the wing. Ashenko will fly from the side, off hands. Riccardi again. They're dominating midfield. Rock and Ramiro sorely missed. Scott goes over the top. Steele feeds it in. Hinkley, a chance to goal from 40. It's close. It's good.
They're playing with plenty of confidence, Geelong. Hinkley's first. What a drubbing North Melbourne are receiving. Everything that Geelong's doing is coming off. North Melbourne, they just can't make anything run for them.
He goes back to his position. It's not on the forward line. He's come from half-back flank for that. 74-17. Couch fighting hard in the middle. Goes to Schwass. He bursts away. The kick inside 50. Oh, free kick, not a mark. Free kick to Longmire against O'Reilly. John Longmire's kicked 1-1. The marks are 45-19 in favour of Geelong. Looks like they brought their own footy today. Longmire for his second. Gets it.
Well, there is a lot of holding going on between O'Reilly and Longmire. I wouldn't like to make judgment on who is instigating what, but they're both culprits of holding. Longmire receiving the free kick on that occasion. 2 goals have come in this the second quarter, but O'Reilly's still doing a good job.
'23 plays 74, so 51 points the margin. Under 4 minutes till half-time. Handley goes hard at it. Ashenko, though, did well. Schwass. His kicks out of the centre today have been forced so very wide, and this is no exception. Buse goes after it, gathers it, and boots it down towards half-forward. Well-weighted kick, too. Scott has to wait for it. Laidley knocked it away from Mann inadvertently. Scott picked it up. Handley throws it on the boot. Brown meters in the clear, paddles it towards the boundary line, leaves it for Bairstow. Bairstow pulls it back. Martin's in front, dropped it. Opportunity for Hickmott. He threw it. We've got a whistle, and Blakey will get the free kick.
Great centering kick by Bairstow.
And the pressure of playing on a player like Gary Ablett, in evidence there. Michael Martin had a simple chest mark, but he's just so aware. He's been so harassed this afternoon by the prospect of working against Ablett. He dropped it. A half chance for Geelong went begging as Blakey kicks it around the outer side. Scott. Buse was the flyer. Scott chips it across, and they're putting on a clinic. This is Bairstow.
He's got such acceleration, Scott.
14 disposals to Bairstow. Did the same last week until he was stopped in the second half. Gary Hocking. Ablett. Not this time. Poole playing a great game to celebrate 150.
Oh.
In the goal square. Stoneham. Welcome back, Barry Stoneham. What a difference you've made.
But what great speed. And football now shown by Trevor Poole, the boy from Speed, playing his 150th game. His first game was at AFL Park for the reserves. Richmond played Fitzroy that day, and he did show some ability. And he got it across to Stoneham, best and fairest winner at Richmond.
57 points the difference then. Ashenko battling manfully, got it down again, but Handley runs onto the loose ball, and the procession about to continue. This is Poole to McGrath, who chips it out wide. Hickmott gathers the ball brilliantly on the half volley. centering kick now. Stonham's the target. Mann did well to fist away. Pyman didn't have it, and Pyman will get the free kick. Plays on. Blakey. Half-time can't come too soon. This is Buse marking the ill-directed kick. North need to regroup. He boots it to half-forward. Laidley gets across. High kick towards the boundary. Hocking goes after it. Well, you wouldn't think some people had written them off as a chance for the finals after that effort. This is Hinkley. Hinkley wobbles it down towards full forward. Ablett goes back. Was he held? No, he did the holding. Martin will get the free kick. That's an interesting one. So Martin has it. Deep in his own defensive area. 12-8-3-5.
Martin's third kick of the day. Crocker should have taken the mark. McGrath. Scott in front. Gary Hocking running out of room. He's kept it in legally. Well, the umpire said yes. Steele keeps it in. Mann. Stoneham. Trapped by Stoneham for Hocking. He goes back outside 50 to Riccardi. Short pass. Hickmott from 45. Another one.
Procession here at the MCG. 6-goal term, 7-goal term by Geelong.
Well, it's a carbon copy of their game at the MCG last year when Geelong led North at half-time by 68 points.
The build-up, once again, terrific.
Hard to imagine. Geelong certainly will struggle to make the 6. Still a faint flicker, but things would have to go remarkably their way for them to get in. And yet they're playing like an inspired team this afternoon. Buse was taken high and will get the free.
Well, I suppose the bye couldn't come quick enough for North Melbourne because of that, with that extra week's rest, Carey certainly will be fit to play the following week.
Well, they haven't played well today as Colbert hand passes across to the run of McGrath, but the footballing fates have been very cruel to them. This is Scott. Scott inside the 50. Ablett comes on the lead. This will be interesting. Martin goes after him. Ablett keeps it in front. Martin tries to ping him and the ball goes out of bounds. Ablett's got it. Martin was sweating on him and it will be thrown in.
He's a great athlete, Michael Martin. Ablett also a great athlete. He's a real workhorse. Martin on the track too.
Stoneham. Fantastic work in ruck. He puts it to the goal square. It's met by Clarkson. He hasn't cleared the area yet. Steele competes. Couch at the back. Time's run out. Siren's going to beat them. What a half of football by the Cats. They've lost 3 out of their last 5 games. They've bounced back today. That man, Gary Ablett, got his 100 in the first 10 minutes. He's kicked 2 more to have 4 to half-time. And Geelong have thrashed North Melbourne 13-8, 86 to 3-5, 23.
And Geelong remarkably led it by 63 points. So North with a huge contract to get back in it. Pyman across to Schwass, a very high kick down towards half forward. It stays in the air a long time. Archer almost a clever mark. And now a free kick is going to Geelong. O'Reilly, I think, will get it. Off the ball, he was being held. Stephen Hocking, left half back. Little chip pass to Poole has been very effective this afternoon. Poole inside the centre square. Boots towards centre half forward. Ablett behind. Chest mark. Well, he slipped and inadvertently, I think, put Martin off stride. Ablett's booted 4. Unbelievable.
Should have had 6 really. His 2 misses have been highly gettable.
And the relationship between Ablett and Martin has been quite hostile this afternoon. Ablett from 45 metres, not a particularly good kick, but it bends back. It's just got the distance. It didn't bend back far enough. Very lazy kick for a behind.
Yeah, normally he kicks through it so powerfully that he's got no hope of missing inside 50. And 3 times today he's missed from inside 50. Kick in by Archer. Down goes Ashenko. Scott, almost a blind hand pass. He knew Steele was there. A centering kick. Ablett in the goal square. Well, Martin wrestles him off. Well, Ablett was almost walking back to get his free kick. Martin reckoned he deserved a free kick, and neither of them got one. Throw in, forward pocket. Stoneham's been sensational. But this time he gets into the back of the Northman, and Mann will take the free kick. Not a great kick. Left behind him by Schwass. Grabbed by Riccardi. It bends back. No, it doesn't. And that is out of bounds on the full.
Nice pickup by Peter Riccardi. Amazing, that boundary throw in, hardly any body work done, and a free kick is plucked out of it. And we saw Ablett and Martin wrestling, and play allowed to go. This is Buckley, who's been one of North's very best this afternoon, gets a 50-metre penalty against Gary Hocking. Stevens is running on down the ground on the grandstand wing, on the members side wing more particularly, but Buckley ignores that, and aided by the 50, kicks inside the attacking 50. McAdam comes out and in rather unconvincing style juggles the mark.
It wasn't a confident attempt by McAdam, may have hurt his back a bit.
Hasn't seen much of the ball this afternoon, and certainly Lee Colbert has closed him down effectively, something not too many defenders in the AFL have been capable of doing this season. Adrian McAdam, 60 goals for the season, comes on a long run and kicks from 45 metres out. It's close. It's a behind. Well, if they're going to get back into this, they've simply got to grab every opportunity, North. 3-6, 13-9.
O'Reilly offered a lead in short. He wants to go longer. Barnes comes from behind. There's Colbert again, threading out a hand pass. There's going to be a free kick. Advantage to Hocking, and he's got the whole MCG in front of him. Bairstow took a while to steady. Long to Ablett. Watch this. Oh, good spoil by Scholl. Umpire's seen another free kick. North Melbourne defender. And why, when I'm not sure, do I automatically call a North Melbourne defender? It just seems that that's the way the free kicks go. I beg your pardon. Smith. Ashenko at half-back. Pretty quiet game. Barnes, Gary Hocking fends off Ashenko. Some of these blind hand passes seem to be hitting the target. Zipped by magic. Poole to Hocking to Bairstow. Bairstow from 40. Hits the post. Oh, the player hit the post. The ball went through.
And as Drew said, a lot of these reflexive handballs, quick handballs, could be blind, but they're certainly hitting their mark. But Geelong, that is typical of their game today. Everything they've done has come off. North Melbourne really have been battling. You can see there a wry smile from Gary Hocking. To Bairstow.
93 plays 24. The early going of the third term. Bairstow out of the middle towards half-forward Scott's in front. Laidley knocks it away. Hickmott did brilliantly. Feeds the hand pass back towards the middle. Schwass lost sight of the ball. Buckley eventually to Pyman, who finds Archer. Archer on the wing. Plays on now. Kicks inside the 50. McAdam works his way in front. Knocked forward by O'Reilly, who runs on to tackle McAdam. Crocker. Well done by Steve Hocking. Forced the error. Schwass. Back towards Crocker. Now Crocker finds himself in space, 40 metres out. Misses to the right-hand side. Well, they're gang tackling at the present time, Geelong. That time they paid the penalty. They had about 3 or 4 guys after the ball against one North player. The other North players hanging off the pack, and as a result they got the loose ball. O'Reilly short, very short. McGrath does well.
Well, this will be giving Tim McGrath a lot of satisfaction. Playing for Geelong against his old team, and Geelong giving them a thumping. And a 50-metre penalty against
Stevens.
Stevens.
The fourth for the day for North Melbourne. The fourth, actually.
Yeah. And each previous time, the offender has been benched. We'll watch this time. Laidley. Stevens still on at the moment. He's been amongst their best, though. Roberts, the hand pass on the bounce to Clarkson. Back to Stevens. Here's kick to centre half forward. Hinkley gets back there. Good mark right into the sun. Comes up short. Look, it's unbelievable a man could be unmarked right up the centre corridor like Barnes was then. Ashenko can't get out of his own shadow. Here's Stevens. Out of mid-air, Allison.
Allison wheels around, goes looking for Longmire. O'Reilly has worn him like a glove. McAdam cleverly makes something out of nothing.
Well, that's
gets
typical.
1 out of 6.
And that's typical of North's plight today. That one by McAdam. When they were playing confidently, that would have gone through. But that sums up North Melbourne's day.
Well, the signs are bad for this afternoon, certainly. That goes without saying. I think long-term also, they're not looking too good. Some of the key playmakers of the early successes are really struggling this afternoon. This is McGrath, and they struggled 8 days ago against the Saints. 14-9 to 3-8. Down the middle goes the kick. Terrific mark, Ashenko. To Schwass. Schwass, a very high kick towards centre-half forward. The man had to wait for it. That was Steve Hocking. He runs on and applies a tackle on Pyman. At the base of that is Colbert trying to get it out, at least to the satisfaction of the umpire. Colbert's done a very good job on McAdam. Gets up, finds his man, stands alongside him. The bounce meantime, Ashenko fists it down, taken by Barnes. Hinckley from his own defensive 50 around the outer side. Couch got a hand to it. This is Blakey under pressure to man. Very high kick through midfield. Over the top, McGrath tries to fist away from Crocker. Does the next best thing and sockers it off the ground. Stoneham tried to do likewise. This is man. Good evasion. Under some pressure. Scrambles a kick forward. There was a good chase by Scott to affect the kick. Here's Hinckley. Didn't have the ball.
And will take a free kick. Archer not too happy about it. Free kicks 22 to 18 in favour of North Melbourne. Steve Hocking just gets clear. Scott can't. Hickmott. Well, look at that to Poole. And Poole over the top to the 50. Stoneham paddles inboard, but it's grabbed by Blakey. Blakey beats 1, beats 2. Thumps it back towards centre wing. Archer, palmed down by Steve Hocking. Roberts has been one of those who has been a good player earlier, but not so much today. Archer played well. Laidley off to Roberts. Coming up for his 11th disposal, Mark Roberts. On the bounce, Pyman from wide out. Good effort. A goal.
Well, his first, Robert Pyman. Mark Roberts drawing Gary Hocking. It's a case of cat and mouse with Gary Hocking because he had 2 men to cover. One was Roberts, the other was Pyman. And finally, he was drawn to Roberts. Roberts over the top of Gary Hocking's head to Pyman. That was a difficult shot for Pyman, hard up against the boundary. His first.
So they're going goal for goal in the third term. Haven't said that too often today. 14-9 for 8. Barnes wins it down. Buckley again at close quarters. Boots to half forward. Allison, clever mark in front. Could almost be 50. The crowd want it. Not forthcoming. Allison chips inside the 50. McAdam comes on the lead. Straight through his fingertips. Schwass worked off it by Riccardi. A lot of courage shown all around by North. Then the Cats in turn. Crocker to McAdam. In trouble. Buckley. Low trajectory kick. Marked on the goal line by Riccardi, who channels play to the outer side. Poole, who's been so very good, goes up in front. Couldn't hang on that time. It will be thrown in. 17 possessions for that man, Trevor Poole, back in the side this afternoon.
Where'd he come from? Speed.
Speed.
And his club was Tempe Guraya Pachiwallach.
Yes, because they haven't got a football team at Speed.
Here's McAdam over his shoulder. Impossible angle. Proved to be impossible. A behind. And Adrian McAdam today has kicked 3 goals, 3 behinds. And he and McGrath are not the best of friends. Careful, boys. Short pass in. And McGrath takes the mark. Crowd happy. They've seen Gary Ablett kick his 100. Did it in the first 10 minutes of the game. He's only added 2 since then. He's on 102. Here's Crocker. Back to full forward. Ashenko front position. No mark. Allison goes back to Schwass. 35 metres out. Good kick by Wayne Schwass. A goal.
Well, the left foot is combining. Ellison and Schwass on his favoured foot. Twisted it back over the right shoulder, did Wayne Schwass. Copped a heavy one. You can see there the mouse on the bottom left cheek, just above the mouth, where he ran into a player at centre-half back in the first quarter. But he has recovered.
So the margin, 39 as opposed to 93. Still very hefty. Here's Poole in the congestion, straight to Stevens. He bridged towards his half-forward line. Archer knocked it to the advantage of Allison. Still he goes, Allison. Riccardi taken on by Archer. Pyman quick hands across to Schwass. Down towards the kick-off line. O'Reilly almost the mark. Colbert in deep trouble. Played it brilliantly. Hinkley across his own half-back line. Uses the umpire. A bit of a screen set there, and he boots it out wide. And Poole, metres in the clear, can go again to Hocking and does. Gary Hocking, left half forward, sets it up for Ablett. They wrestle, face to face. Oh, what a mark! They were eyeball to eyeball, and somehow Gary Ablett has fashioned a TV mark out of all of that. That was prime time.
And the delivery by Hocking on the left foot was terrific.
Well, he's got 4. By his standards, he's missed a couple of easy ones. This for number 5. From 20 metres out. Well, the goal umpire goes a long way, and he's missed again. Inconceivable. Gary Ablett, well, he should have kicked 7 or 8 by now. He remains locked on 4. It seems the result is beyond dispute.
Well, he must be thinking about what he's going to say at the press conference after the game. He doesn't give many. Stoneham, no mark.
Hurt himself too, Stoneham. Let's hope he's all right.
Scholl gets the hand pass to Roberts. Full back to full forward in a try. Smack had him. Punch by Colbert was excellent. Helped on by Steve Hocking. It bounces for Stevens. Hasn't got the carry. Longmire's there. Ball out of play.
Stoneham's all right too after crashing heavily after attempting that kick in, or marking. There he is, attempting that mark from the kick in.
The amazing thing about Ablett with his kicking this afternoon, he's simply not following through, is he?
That's right. He's not kicking through it like he normally does. 4 misses inside 50 for Gary Ablett. That's holding the ball. Free kick to North. Rowan Saw's in charge of proceedings. The Rat, Andrew Buse, gives it to Brett Allison, who'll remember the MCG for the mark he took against Collingwood, the mark of the year. And Gary Ablett will remember the MCG for many deeds, and also the venue where he brought up his first century. He did that here today. North coming back a bit. Allison gets the goal.
Well, Allison's kicked his first, and Geelong have made a change. Riccardi, who was playing on the wing on Schwass, has come off, and Tudor, that's Lee Tudor, who was with North Melbourne last year, has got his chance. There's Brett Allison playing on the forward line. Been on and off the bench.
3 goals to 1 this quarter. They couldn't get back, could they?
Well, you doubt it. 5 possessions to Allison. 1 goal. The margin 49 points. Couch has gone out of the game since a scintillating opening term. Knocked on by Bairstow. Hickmott crashes through. This is Steele. Just outside half forward, passes to Tudor, the new man on the ground. He goes towards Ablett, who comes on the lead and takes the mark. About 35 metres out at the most.
This is his question mark distance.
Well, as we said, he could have had another 3 or 4 goals this afternoon. Needs to follow through at the target this time. Not a better. Ablett has 5.
I suppose it's a matter of timing. When your timing's right, when kicking for goal, they usually go straight, and his timing was perfect on that occasion. He knows as soon as it's left the boot as to where it's going, Gary Ablett. Bit of a joke between Ablett and the runner.
Another century has been posted at the MCG. This time it's the Cats. Stevens out of the middle. Hinkley, well played.
So often first use out of the centre by North today, Drew, has virtually been a kick to the wing, hasn't it?
Well, they're winning the hit-outs 24-18. The centre breaks are 12-11 in favour of North, but it's counted for Nout. That was Laidley getting it from Clarkson. Towards the outer wing now, Roberts and Allison. Allison showed some pace, got it through to Roberts. The hand pass, no one there. Blakey had to run onto it. Tough for him now. What's happened here? You're holding it. Well, what sort of a hand pass was that? Free kick to Buse. Buse wants to take it quickly. He's got Couch giving him movement forward of the wing. Well done by Clarkson. And we'll have a throw in.
Alistair Clarkson showing plenty of grit, still to be out there after that collision earlier today with Gary Ablett. Mashenko and Barnes, it falls behind. Schwass the hurried kick, gains about 30 metres or so. It bounces out of bounds at right half forward for North.
Certainly Geelong's way, but then again they're going a little shorter than what North and Melbourne are.
Actually, North Melbourne are the lowest marking team in the competition, and Carey's the highest marker in the competition. Without Carey, they've got no one to take a mark.
Steele. Can Blakey take one here? No, it hit him on the head. It runs behind. Stoneham, well played to Bairstow. Where's Ablett? He wants it wide. Bairstow, meantime, has fumbled. Gets it to Tudor. Tudor goes goalward and is missed. Well, Mark Bairstow uncharacteristically fumbling there. The 86 Sandover medalist was through, but lost the handle.
3-2 in favour of North Melbourne in this quarter. Mann can't take the mark. Laidley in front. Is that Martin up the ground? It is indeed. Ball didn't go 10 metres, said the umpire. No mark paid. Scott to Gary Hocking. He saw Schwass coming out of his rear vision mirrors. Hinkley, centre circle job to Barnes. His hand pass is partly blocked. Chance for North. Pyman. Roberts having a better turn. Long kick by Mark Roberts. Longmire. McAdam goes to the back of the pack. Colbert has been superb on McAdam. Archer. There's Colbert. What poise for a youngster, a teenager. Hinkley. Has put it out in front of teammate and said to McGrath, run onto this one. Got nobody to kick to down the members' wing. So he centres. Hocking's there. Couch to give him run. Paul Couch bouncing away. Oh, Clarkson just did well enough. Stoneham at centre half forward. Pops it wide. Robert Scott will stroll in for the goal.
And Robert Scott certainly picked up in space in the pace department. Very, very strong over the first couple of yards and now can break a tackle. Maybe it's the maturity. Starting to mature physically and the changes are being made. Larkin coming on. Archer off for North Melbourne. Barnes off. Handley into the ruck. But that was started by McGrath at half-back.
Well, the tempo has lifted slightly in this third term, but every time they've been challenged, Geelong simply too good for North. Mashenko, big fist. Crocker helps it on its way. So does Buckley down towards centre half forward. Allison hits the deck. Hinkley in trouble. Pyman to Buckley. Buckley 25 metres out, has missed. Great lunge by Abuse to affect the kick there. Buckley just about to put the ball to boot. And a despairing lunge by Abuse put him off balance. Terrific start.
Well, we might be lamenting the misses by Ablett, but what about Norths in this quarter? They've kicked 3-5.
They have played better. O'Reilly goes in short. Gary Hocking to Hinkley. Bairstow Storming down the middle in characteristic fashion. Sets it up for Ablett. Oh, great mark in front to Mann. Mann plays on. Martin sends play towards the outer side. Buckley controlled it brilliantly. Gets the hand pass to Roberts, who chips to Pyman. Pyman pulls it back towards centre half forward. O'Reilly's in the road though.
In front, O'Reilly.
Steve Hocking to Hinkley. Left footer by Hinkley to Stoneham at centre half forward. That is perfect. In front of Mann.
Beautiful moving player is Stoneham.
Ablett leads and then doubles back to the goal square. Stoneham with a mighty long kick. Oh, it's a goal. No, it's not.
Oh.
Knocked back into play. There was a centimetre in that. I must admit I thought it was over the line. North out of trouble, but a good mark taken by the boy from Patchy Wallach. Trevor Poole.
So Poole on the outer side. Chips in short to Hocking. 16-11 to 6-10. Hocking to Hinkley. Back to Hocking. A bit too easy. Hocking long down towards full forward. Scholl a big leap.
What a great leap, Craig Scholl. Great athlete. Got up pretty high for some punches. Spoils from behind. Also that attempted mark.
28 possessions for Gary Hocking. 12 kicks, 16 hand passes. But all those midfielders have been very good. Bairstow 19. Couch, after a very good start, has fallen away. Just 9 possessions. I'd venture to say 2/3 of those came in the opening quarter. Close to the boundary line. Roberts can't keep it in. And now it will be thrown in. So a throw in on the outer side with Geelong in total control.
108 plays 46. Clarkson to Roberts. Here's a long kick of the football. Too long for his teammates that time. Hughes gets behind them to take the mark. Well, he went for his career best kick that time, Andrew Hughes. Stoneham. Through goes Tudor. Keen to get amongst the action. Sat most of the game on the bench. Poole celebrating game 150 to an absolute treat. Into Bairstow. Bairstow long. Ablett with the sit. Works to the front. Marks.
Oh, that was a great effort. Getting away from Martin. He was tied up. Seemed to untie the mess or the tangle he was in with Martin. To take a good chest mark.
He's kicked 5. We've got 5 minutes to three-quarter time. He could get the 10 again yet. Stabbed at that one too. And missed again from about 25 metres.
3 points in this quarter. He's kicked 1 goal, 3 in this quarter. 5 points for the game. McCarty to come on for Geelong. I wonder why Ricardo was taken off, because I thought he was doing quite well on the wing.
Smith boots it in. Crocker's the target. From behind, Handley gets it on the ground. Scott's in desperate trouble. Brown couldn't control it. Couch dwelt over the ball. Coming away is Blakey. Boots it towards half forward. McGrath knocks it forward. Schwass at full tilt against the flow. Boots inside the 50. McAdam comes on the lead. Well, he's missing a lot of those balls. He's not even making solid contact to stop it, as Hughes, his leg, they're sliding straight through his fingers on the lead, McAdam. Hughes to Hinkley. Around the outer side come the Cats. They've got a spare man out there. This is Gary Hocking, who can go to Poole and does. Poole goes up, takes a very good running mark. Hit the ground running. Boots inside the 50. Ablett goes back in the pocket. Made to earn it, but take it he did. Well, maybe this severe angle will produce something special, because in front he's really struggled today, despite the fact he's got 5 goals. Maybe it's in his contract. He can't get his swag in a winning score.
Wasn't that fantastic work by Poole out on the centre wing? Took the mark and just kept on going, and terrific delivery into the forward line.
Great game, Poole. 11 marks, Trevor Poole.
Great balance, that last one. So Ablett on the sharpest of angles can open it up. Elects not to. A study in concentration. Well, explain that.
Well, he shakes his head. He couldn't believe it. Terrific kick for goal. Six goals, 5. For Gary Ablett.
Well, you'd have to say that given the same chances, Bob Pratt would have kicked about 11. Back in the middle. 3 minutes to three-quarter time. Crowd wanting more of Ablett. Hocking leading the race. Just tries to chip it to his team's advantage. Larkin, he was benched after 3 measly possessions early. Through German to Pyman. McAdam beaten by Colbert again. Hughes with the pace at ground level. Chips the ball out for McGrath. And it's round the outer side. Geelong have absolutely flogged North when players one after the other seem to have no opponent. But Roberts gets back this time on Poole and takes the mark. Centering kick. Longmire well up the ground. Goes for a bit of a run. Shrugs off a tackle. Goes for a 52-metre goal. And has kicked it.
Very nonchalant. A solo effort from the 50-metre line. He looked as if he was going to be caught, but just brushed off the Geelong opponent. Nonchalantly put it through. John Longmire playing across the half-forward line now. His 3rd goal.
4 goals each this quarter.
Yeah, certainly the most competitive term in this game after Geelong kicked 6 and 7 goals in the first 2 quarters. As Drew said, both have kicked 4 in this term. North goalless in the opening quarter for the first time this season. Down goes Bairstow. This is Pyman. Threw it out, surely. Away comes Buckley. Buckley towards half forward. Good mark in front by Longmire. That's been a good duel. Longmire and O'Reilly. On is about even. Longmire a centering kick. Well, McAdam blinded by the sun. Colbert's hand pass clears the zone momentarily. Crocker tries to get it out. This is German. Schwass comes in. The hand pass not particularly good. And now Buse measures the handball. Over the top it goes to Scott. And once more they run it around the outer side. Riccardi has it right on the wing.
Short of half forward. Stoneham with man. Well done, Blakey. Pyman. German. Inside the 50. Yashenko. McAdam waited at the back that time. Hinkley brushes a tackle. There's more on offer here for the Cats. Gary Hocking breaks members' side this time. Poole members' side this time. Barnes goes past, but he's got better options. Oh. But that's a shocking kick by Poole. That's out on the full. It looked like a training run until somebody moved the witches' hats. Free kick by Scholl. Barnes.
No, it's against Longmire because he was holding on to O'Reilly.
So Longmire well up the ground, and O'Reilly's come with him. Longmire's kicked 3. Kicked by O'Reilly. Ablett! Well, the man in front's got it. Even though Ablett crashed into the pack, underneath it all is Barry Stoneham.
It was graceful what he did anyway, Gary Ablett. Coming up over the top.
It's a firm grip Stoneham had on that ball, and it's no mean effort with Ablett at full tilt, crashing on top of you. Well, Barry Stoneham's kicked 2. And his game at centre-half forward has been all class. Siren for three-quarter time. The kick gets there. That's a 5-goal to 4 quarter. Geelong further in front, 18-13, 121 to 7-10, 52. Well, surely no team can be run down from a lead of 69 points, not even Geelong. Yashenko wins in the middle. He's done most of that today, but hasn't done the team any good. Yes, Mark, we got the idea. That wasn't an attempted hand pass, but the umpire will ball it up. Cats 18-13 to 7 goals 10. North Melbourne's worst flogging for the season. Tudor gives chase and shows a bit of pace. The hand pass floats a bit to Stoneham, so he waits, applies the tackle, which is a good one. It spills to Mann. The hand pass wide. German. Yashenko, centre of the ground. A fumble. It's all right for Schwass. Long kick. McAdam underneath it. Longmire at the back. McAdam. That's the role he's got to play. Short pass. Roberts. Oh, he's fumbled it right in the goal square, but he'll take a free.
Yes, I agree with the umpire.
That is the smile of a defender who's given away a free kick when he knows the game's won. Roberts right in front. Gets the goal. His first for the day. So when you look at Longmire, Carey, McAdam and Roberts being their main goal scorers for the season, Longmire's kicked 3, Roberts has kicked 1, McAdam is goalless, and Carey's not there.
Well, again, the advantage of getting the ball quickly out of the centre. A Schwass who swooped on a midfield and long into the pocket he went. And that's North Melbourne's game nowadays. They certainly do go longer with the ball.
Just a beautiful day here at the MCG. And the Geelong fans basking in the weather and the performance as Hocking comes away down towards half forward. Stoneham works his way in front. Mann tried to control it, crashing in down there. Stoneham goes back after it. Brown did well to Tudor from 40 metres out. Lee Tudor, a very wayward kick from a North Melbourne player. At one stage he was released by North, then redrafted and eventually let go. Here's Michael Martin. Out of the back pocket towards half-back. Yashenko's the target. Barnes from behind. Hocking has been terrific. Bairstow across his body inside the 50. It floats out of bounds on the full.
McMartin was prepared to chase that one up into the stand to win his free kick. He might look back on this day and say, well, Ablett kicked 100, but he didn't get a real bag against me, although he should have. Yashenko. Allison's there. It's going Geelong's way. Stoneham, this is what he's done. He's cleared a path for his teammates all day. Back over his shoulder. Ablett in the pocket. Martin with him. And the ball out of play. It's gone out of bounds on the full again off Ablett. Another free kick to Martin.
18-13 to 8-10. Difficult, this sort of situation for players on both sides. The game decided, but a long way from home. Yashenko juggled attempt at the mark. Schwass. His kicking has been generally very high this afternoon. Coming to meet it, Roberts, full-chested, takes a good grab. Plays on. Well, that's a bit casual. Stevens through his legs, and now Tudor. Tudor gets it across to Bairstow. North aren't going that well that they can afford to hand pass when they're sitting down. This is Stoneham. Back to goal, twisting and turning. Little chip pass to Hinckley, who drops the mark. Some indecision between Brown and Hinckley. Now Hinckley snaps towards full forward. Ablett in front. Ball runs free behind. Great desperation by Smith and in turn Blakey. And the behind is forced.
I wonder whether Gary Ablett was anticipating the whack behind the ear that he thought might have been coming from Michael Martin on that occasion.
Fair assumption. Got to come back for another kick in. Smith towards the members' side. Scholl. Two number 24s. Scholl gets away from Poole. Centre of the ground. Allison with one of his speckies, but no mark this time. Off the ground goes Barnes, but it's grabbed by Scholl. Balks the hand pass. Schwass rather. Schwass off the left. McAdam caught well behind this time. And young Lee Colbert.
Yeah, doing well.
He's played a terrific game. 8 marks. It's his 4th kick only, but he's had 12 hand passes. Here's Steve Hocking. Hughes at half back. Goes for as much distance as he can. Blakey backs into them. Gary Hocking over the top. Riccardi underneath. Peter Riccardi inside the boundary line. Oh, good smother by Clarkson.
Well, the Cats have just been terrific today. They've copped a fair bit of criticism over the course of the season for some rather lacklustre performances, and they've squandered some games they should have won, but this afternoon they've had their foot virtually flat to the pedal all day long.
McAdam off for North Melbourne. Larkin going into the forward pocket on Colbert.
Big collision there. Stoneham doesn't mess around but lost it. Mann boots it towards the wing. Stephen Hocking goes back to take the mark. Bairstow is on for the short one. That's the direction that Kick takes. He needs to go, and he does, in front of Allison. Steve Hocking's played pretty solid football today too. Colbert, a real comer to Steve Hocking once more. To McGrath. McGrath, the hurried kick towards half forward. Blakey's in the road. Plays on immediately. Schwass has been lively. Quite a few possessions. He boots it down towards half forward, and that is a better kick. O'Reilly comes up in front of Longmire. Ball spills to Roberts. Bacon goal square. How will it bounce? In fact, it carries the line. Goal.
He's done well, Mark Roberts, a big fellow, in the last quarter. That's his second goal for the quarter. Not with the fact that he's kicked goals, but he's moved around quite well on that forward line. There he is.
He's gone from being the fridge to the bar fridge. Barnes in the middle. Cop one across the nose from Schwass. Here's Stoneham. Back to Barnes. Clears the tears from his eyes. And kicks it up in the sky. Oh, it flips off Riccardi to Poole. A centering kick. Sun in players' eyes. Ablett, though. Well, it seems to have bothered some, like McAdam, but not Ablett.
Well, he's kicked 2 goals in each of the 3 quarters so far. He continues on with that average. He'll finish up with 8 for the day. Not a bad effort.
Six goals, 5 he's kicked. So don't mark this one down for a goal just yet. Make that 7 goals. And there's a remarkable thing. If Ablett gets 8 today, he'll become only the 4th player to kick 200 goals at the MCG. Kevin Bartlett, Michael Roach and Norm Smith, who were entitled to kick a lot of goals here because they played here.
Amazing record. 1914 to 9-10. So 64 points. Barnes knocks it forward, goes after it again. German couldn't control it, hasn't knocked away. Hocking did well in a tight situation. Scott, the bouncing ball eventually evaded him, taken by Buckley. Ashenko goes back with great courage and takes the mark. Alex Ashenko to Schwass. Storms through the middle. His 29th possession. Probing kick. It may have bounced through for a goal. I think it has. Well done by Longmire. And Schwass gets his 2nd goal.
Well, he's going along with those kicks, Schwass. He's getting it around midfield now, started to lift his work rate. It's a good battle between he and Riccardi earlier in the game, but Schwass certainly winning the ball around midfield, playing as a on-baller now.
Barnes and Ashenko. Ashenko, oh, Larkin takes one high. His free kick inside half forward. Hughes back there to mark. Across to Hinkley. Now the loose man. Poole doesn't seem to have had an opponent for most of the day. In he comes. He'll get it back from Scott and put it out in front of Couch. Oh, brilliant! Robert Scott says thank you very much. Hocking should kick the goal. Even better than that, into Stoneham. Oh, terrific.
Was there a touch of arrogance?
Touch of class.
What about when Couch got it away? Oshinko bearing down on him. And what happened was Oshinko just cannoned into his own teammate on centre wing. Geelong took it away. A goal. Stoneham 4 from centre half forward.
Well, their 20th goal was really something special for the Cats. 134 plays 70. Barry Stoneham back in the side this afternoon has really had an impact. 4 goals. Oshinko, who hasn't given up trying. Clarkson missed the ball. This is Scott keeping it in front. And the rejuvenated Cats come forward again. Down goes Scott, though. Couch was pushed unceremoniously on top of the pack. But it's a free kick. It's going to Robert Scott down towards centre half forward. Wants to go, won't be allowed to.
He's been in good form. Played a terrific game last week against Collingwood.
2014, 10-10. Scott too far out to score. Kicks for space. Well, Barnes didn't realise he was the intended. Oshinko marked it. Pyman sold into trouble. Alex runs on, if you don't mind, and goes with another hand pass. Stevens, still Stevens, tries to get it back to Alex Oshinko. I doubt the wisdom of that. This is Barnes, close to the boundary line. Gets it to Bairstow, who flirted with the idea of running on, and then decided to stop. He's been busy.
Ablett wants a long one to the goal square. Well, Barnes is unmarked at centre half forward. Bit of a breeze going down that way, so he might kick this from about 53. Lead in short. Stoneham.
A very stylish player, Stoneham. Watch him kick for goal.
And you'd think that he'd have to just lack a little bit of... Well, he has to lack match fitness. He hasn't played for a month, having served a 3-week suspension. Now, that's not a bad day's work at centre half forward. Will this be goal number 5? Not a problem. What a game.
Five goals, 2 to be exact. But he's done well. They've had match winners on the forward line. In fact, they've had match winners all over the ground, Geelong. And they've certainly gone on with it. They've folded in other games when they've got such a lead, but today they've just gone on with it. North Melbourne have not had a chance.
Barry Stoneham, 21 possessions and 5 goals. A terrific effort. Close to best on ground. Oshinko to Schwass, who was taken high, and he'll get the free kick. Looks rather trendy. Wayne Schwass from alongside the centre circle, kicks inside the 50. Barnes. Big leap, strong mark. McGrath, not the best of hand passes. McGrath with some time, though, towards the outer side wing. German comes at the ball. I thought he was held, and German will get the free kick.
Poor day for Peter German. 7 possessions. Bit of time on the bench. Buse front of the pack. Hand pass, Steele, Hinkley. Look at this out of defence. Tudor. Penetrating kick to half forward, but Mann takes the mark, getting the better of Stoneham this time. Off to Stevens. Allison flies. Schwass, and the ball out of play. Look at how well this ground has stood up. Bearing in mind there was a seniors and a reserves game last night. It pelted with rain at the MCG. There was no early match today, but this ground is in great nick. Just as well, they spent $2 million. Buckley lost control of it. Steele into Stephen Hocking. Blind hand pass. Stoneham just got rid of his opponent, man. Steve Hocking again. Buckley for North. Pulled off his kick. Riccardi. Scholl for North. Poole dives at it, and the umpire will ball it up on the 50. Trevor Poole, I think he's entitled to a drink tonight. His 150th has been a beauty. We've got him for 13 marks and 29 possessions.
Stoneham and Mann. It's Mann who wins it down. Stevens went for the big hit. Look at Stoneham working that pack. Gets it out to Hocking. Hocking from right on the 50 sends it down towards Ablett, who's worked out of it, and Smith makes a good defensive mark. Ross Smith, a little chip pass out wide. Archer's got it. Up from the back pocket. Archer pulls it back. I think intended for German. It missed the mark in any case. Pyman's in there. Knocks it out to Schwass. Well, you've got to admire him. A couple of heavy knocks earlier in the game. He was taken from the ground a couple of times, but he's fought it right out. Down goes Archer at the end of a chain of hand passes. Clarkson was the man who gave it to him. This is Gary Hocking in trouble. Didn't have the ball. He'll get the free kick.
He goes out wide to Scott, who's 15 metres in the clear. Ablett back in the goal square. Scott hoists it high. You like his chances?
Actually, the combination between Scott, or the understanding, I should say, between Scott and Ablett was really quite incredible, because Ablett went on a dummy lead, then dropped back, and Scott held it long enough, realising or seeing that Ablett was going back, then sent the ball up high.
Well, this is a game where he should have kicked double figures, and he might yet. He's missed some real sitters. This for number 8. Oh, no. Oh, just got in. Very symmetrical. 2 in each quarter for 8 for Gary Ablett.
Yes, they've done well all day, Geelong. They've got a focal point at full forward, centre half forward. They're winning around midfield. Scott's doing well on a flank. Poole on a wing. They've just got winners everywhere.
22-14 plays 10-10 with 12 minutes remaining. Oshenko has to wait. Barnes had the run on him. Falls to Bairstow. Bairstow boots it inside the attacking 50. Steele came at it hard with Smith. This is Mann. Martin missed it. Now Ablett goes. Controls it pretty well. Still he goes, Gary Ablett. Now he's in trouble. Slung down by Mann. Didn't have the ball. Well, he may have been a bit lucky there. He tried to pick it up and somehow didn't have purchase on the ball as he went back. Mann helped him on his way, thinking he'd picked it up, and Ablett gets a free. So Gary Ablett going at number 9. Wayne Schwass, 31 possessions. Mark Bairstow, 26 possessions. Gary Hocking, 34 possessions. It's an outstanding performance this afternoon. And Ablett going at his 9th. Kicks into the man on the mark. And now 50.
It has to be said, he's had his share of free kicks.
Well, no one's tried harder on this ground this afternoon than Michael Martin. It's a daunting prospect to go against Gary Ablett, and you can see that frustration now. It's been a tough day for this defence, a tough day for that defender. He pleads his case, but it falls on deaf ears.
Who'd be a fullback?
Good play on this man. So Ablett now for number 9. One would assume Amir Bagatelle. Where she goes. Did he get up into the top deck? I think he might have.
Actually, there's something going on here. Now, just hang on. I don't know what's going on here. I think there might be a second kick for goal.
Well, that's interesting.
This is going to be very, very interesting.
Well, as Ablett was lining up, Schwass was jostling about 15 metres away with, I think, Brown, was it?
So, well, this is the first time I've seen this happen. They may pay 2 goals without the ball being bounced.
So we assume the umpire gave the all clear after Ablett's goal and then awarded this free kick. Well, you don't see that too often. Brown. 2 for the price of 1.
Well, in the time I've been in football, I have never seen that happen before. And I wonder if it ever has happened before. Probably it has. There he is, Brown. Taking his second.
Well, this ground is a buzz. Ablett's on 9. There's been the double whammy, 2 goals without the opposition touching the ball. There's still 10.5 minutes to go, and the crowd is baying for Gary Ablett to get double figures again. Free kick to North. Hurriedly taken by Blakey. Punched down by McGrath. It goes to Scott. Buse. Left footer by Buse across half back. Barnes uncontested. His only company was his teammate Gary Hocking. McGrath.
Swash very frustrated.
Oh, Hocking went the wrong way. Lucky to get away with it. McGrath back out to Barnes. Short pass up the ground. Bit of a fight on off the ball. Bairstow and Clarkson. Fancy Clarkson being involved. And it's going to be a Geelong free down the ground.
That'll be Couch and Clarkson, because they've been at it all the time.
Riccardi goes in short. North becoming a rebel. And, well, nobody likes to see that. Hocking goes short. Brown overruns it. He's good enough, Brown, but he gives the hand pass away. Smith back to the centre. Terrific stuff by Steve Hocking. His hand pass floats for Hinkley. Almost hand pass to himself. The umpire will ball this up just outside 50. Well, Gary Ablett is on 9. He's kicked double figures 4 times this season, and 3 times in losing sides. He's kicked a 14, a 12, an 11, and a 10. And listen to the crowd, they want more. But this is for Stevens coming off the ground for North.
Yeah, Stevens involved with Bairstow. And Dennis Pagan taking him off the ground. Some terrible signs here for North in this final term. Really showing a lack of discipline as Longmire comes on the lead and marks the ball. And really, discipline's been the cornerstone of their football all year.
To Stevens too. I think he's got a horrible cut on the forehead.
Blood bin job, you think? A blood bin job?
Yeah, I think so.
Longmire may have missed this. He has. An eventful final term given the scoreline. We've seen a lot today. 10-11 to 24-14.
There's he is being attended to by the doc. There he is, Stevens.
Meantime, this is Hinkley. Got it from Steve Hocking and then proceeded to miss the ball. Pashenko threw it to Crocker. So it'll be a Geelong free. Steve Hocking will take it. Bairstow and McAdam around the maypole. And this is Hocking going towards the outer side. Back goes young Colbert with a lot of courage. German's hand pass intended for Pyman. Coming through his tutor, and he's content to run it across the boundary line. Stevens is back out there.
In this quarter, Geelong have kicked 6-1. North 3 goals won. Roberts. Hinkley first back there. We still have nearly 8 minutes left. Hinkley's short pass slipped through the hands of McGrath and the ball out of play. Tim McGrath thought that was a bit severe from only about 20 metres away. Roberts and Barnes. Crocker. Longmire had a chance to mark. McAdam. Goalless. Back he goes to Laidley, who misses to the right. Dean Laidley's first score. Adrian McAdam has 3 behinds. 38 scoring shots to 22, so it's pretty comprehensive. Here go the Cats again.
Colbert got it to Buse. This is Tudor on the wing. Has great speed. Puts it out in front of Stoneham, who's kicked 5 goals. He played it well, the big man. Still he goes. Confronted by Scholl. Oh, terrific stuff. Stoneham pulls it back for the goal square. He did everything correctly. Archer juggles the mark and comes away defiantly. Puts it back towards midfield. And Crocker, who's gone out of the game, takes the mark to Clarkson. Clarkson drives it down towards half forward. O'Reilly's in front. It falls behind. The ever-reliable Steve Hocking this afternoon gets another possession. Boots it out wide. Riccardi gets it back to Buse. Buse, well, that's changing the direction. Squares the ball. Hinkley came up from full back to run it to the wing. Goes out wide to Barnes. They've gotten a long way round. Barnes close to the boundary line with Roberts. Mobility not the key there. The hand pass not good. And Archer comes away.
Kicked by Archer. Crocker, a mark, yes. McAdam the only chance on the forward line. He's behind. The ball is out of bounds. And Colbert, in a team that's kicked 24 goals, you'd nearly have to look at Colbert for a vote for the job he's done in defence. 18 possessions.
For a first year, he shows some remarkable maturity. A lot of ability. Let's hope he can continue on, have a long career.
Off the ball, Clarkson has just knocked Couch to the ground, and Couch will take the free kick. That was 40 metres away from the action. Clarkson. Phew.
Well done by Barnes to Gary Hocking. What about his game this afternoon? 38 possessions, if you don't mind, for Gary Hocking. This is Schloss, not far behind him. Isn't he tried hard? That's a good-looking kick towards the outer side. McGrath goes up and gets a fist on it. Roberts, Larkin. This is Stevens. Stevens kicks inside the 50. Longmire. Steve Hocking again. That defence, much maligned over the last couple of seasons, has been marvellous today. Of course, the midfield has applied good pressure as Tudor boots it down towards half forward. Smith did well. Read brilliantly by Handley, though. Confronted by Blakey. Gets it away to Bairstow. Oh, nice little swerve there. Gets the ball back to Handley. Handley 60 metres out. Kicks it high. Ablett's in front. Oh, what a mark! What a mark!
He was being held by Martin.
But how did it fall to him? I mean, that's inconceivable. There were bodies and arms all around him, and somehow he drew it up perfectly with this set square. He knew where to be, and it landed in his arms. So he's going at number 10. His kicking has been astray today. He probably should have 14 or 15 already. Ablett, goal.
Oh, it's a great effort. 4 goals in the last quarter. Gary Ablett.
Well, there's still 4 minutes to play. Gary Ablett, 10 goals, 5. And you know, that makes 108 for the season. The last Geelong player to get a century was Larry Donoghue back in 1976. He got 105. Doug Wade got 127 in 1967. The previous cat to get a century was George Maloney, 1932. Chance for Gary Ablett to build on his 10 goals, but it's going the wrong way now. German out of the middle. McGrath takes the mark at halfback. Bairstow kept his footing. Stevens lost his. Well played by Bairstow. Good mark by Buckley in front of Scott. Back he goes to Mann. Well, that's a shocker. I'm glad I'm not camped under that. Good mark to Tudor. 3.5 minutes left. Into Gary Hocking. He's got to go back.
There's a 50-metre penalty again. That's about the 5th or 6th of the day.
Well, Tudor looking for Ablett. Too easy.
The amazing thing is no one's gone home. Everyone's staying and watching this.
He got the 2 for his century in the opening 10 minutes of the game. And now he's trying to build on his double figures. No. Missed it to the right. 10 goals, 6. Well, we saw Peter Sumich here one day against Essendon have about 28 kicks at full forward. He should have kicked 23 goals or something, only kicked about 11. And Ablett should have kicked 1 million today.
For a moment, I should have kicked 23 goals. This is Archer. There's going to be a free kick, though. It's going North's way. It'll be taken by Buckley. He's tried hard. Buckley towards the wing. Oh, well done by Crocker, but couldn't hang on. The Hockings combine. Hinkley, nicely done. Couch across the ground, though too much carry on it, and Smith did well. Smith plays on by hand. This is Mann. His kicking has not been good so far, and this is no exception.
Mick Martin's up the ground chasing kicks. I'd get back if I were you.
Buse has got the ball. Buse pumps it back in. Stoneham. Oh, well.
Doesn't he do that so well? He's prepared to play in front to Stoneham.
Well, if one doesn't get you this afternoon, the other one will. Stoneham's kicked 5. He's lining up at number 6. I was going to say he's been overshadowed by Ablett, but those figures would, I think, belie that. His 25th possession upcoming. It should be his 6th goal. He's directly in front. He kicks from 45 metres. It's close. And what's he done? He's missed to the right as well. Well, we talk about what Ablett may have kicked, but you look at this, 25-16, what Geelong may have kicked. They could have kicked 40 goals this afternoon had they been on target.
Well, they kicked 29 goals in the corresponding game here against North last year. They won't do that today, but they should have.
At least.
Ball's out of play. Of course, Geelong already have the all-time AFL League record score. They kicked that against the Bears last year. Buckley. Back to centre wing. Crocker takes the mark. 45 seconds left in the game at the MCG. Geelong have the numbers. Buse. And he's got time to work out who's the best option. I'm not sure he was, Handley. But Buse kept going. Oh, well done, Andy Buse. Short pass to Hocking. He's over 40 possessions now. So keen to dish it off and share it with teammates. Poole to Ablett. Martin got a fist on that one, and the ball's out of play.
Well done, Michael Martin.
Late in the game, they're still making changes. North. Allison on and Pyman off with 6 seconds left.
Why would you do that? Through goes Scott. In the meantime, a free kick to North on the siren, so Allison actually doesn't get to the middle. It's all over, and Geelong a resounding victory, 25-16, 166 to North Melbourne, 10-12-72. So in the space of 8 days, the North Melbourne bubble has burst.